morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rocky Franklin, and I am the Vice President and General Manager of Great Western. And I'm going to be taking a couple of minutes this morning to talk about Great Western and the background and how we got here. Before I do that, I'm going to quickly outline a few events for today. First, we'll hear comments from Kirby Kastner, who's the Economic Development Director for the City of Pana, the PIDC. Kirby played an important role in helping us choose Pana for this facility, and without Kirby, I'm not sure we'd be here today. Doug Woltman, who is the president of K. Woltman Construction. Doug and his team did an incredible job helping us plan and build this building. We're glad his team and him can be with us today to help us celebrate. We'll wrap up our speakers with Pat Haggerty, who is the Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer at Performance Food Group. Great Western is a part of PFG's Mountain Manufacturing Division, which Pat oversees. Pat will share a few words about PFG and how Great Western fits within the organization, and we're very happy to have Pat with us today. After the program portion, we hope you'll stay for lunch. And then we have tours planned of the facility. We're really proud of what we have here, and we can't wait to give you a preview. Great Western's been a part of the concession industry for more than 50 years. As many of you know, that legacy was put to the test 2 years ago today when we had a fire that occurred in our old facility over in Assumption. The building was a total loss. You really never know the resiliency of a team until they're faced with adversity and challenges. Well, I'm not sure that we could have seen a bigger challenge than what we saw in the days following the fire. The Great Western team continually amazed me as they overcame obstacle after obstacle. They continued to produce products to meet the needs of our customers, and many of our associates worked under pop-up tents as well as pop-up facilities. We've come a long way since that day. The new facility you see here is a testament to the passion and commitment of our associates, and I'm extremely proud to be a part of that team. At Great Western, we've built our heritage and reputation on popcorn and popcorn-related products. Over the years, we've grown to other concession products such as snow cone syrups, other drink syrups, floss sugar for cotton candy, seasonings for both popcorn and non-popcorn foods, funnel cake mix, corn dog mix. Not only do we manufacture and distribute concession food products, we're also a premier distributor of concession equipment, and we have the talent to assist in concession design. So chances are, if you visited a movie theater or a carnival, state, local fair, or that type of venue, you've most likely come in contact with one of our products. Along with the concession products we package, sell, and distribute, we also blend and package coffee pot and kettle cleaners in our Alabama facility, along with general cleaning and janitorial products. I'm a firm believer in looking ahead in the future for Great Western is very bright. We joined Performance Food Group family of companies in March of 2021, and it was a game changer. PFG has supported us every step of the way, and as we looked at how best to rebuild and bounce back from the fire in 2022, you have to excuse me, the allergies are killing me. Being part of PFG and its distribution network enables us to expand our core competencies of popping oils and toppings into additional market verticals such as food service, cooking, and frying oils, and eventually shortenings and salad dressings. By opening this new facility in Pana, we can expand our product offerings to new markets across the globe while continuing to excel at our legacy concession products. We have already expanded beyond coconut, soybean, and canola oils. We now include olive, corn, cottonseed, sunflower, and soon avocado. With this new facility, We have the capabilities of blending and packaging over 1 million pounds of oil per day. As I mentioned before, I'm not sure where we'd be right now if it wasn't for Kirby Kastner. Kirby is the Economic Development Director for the City of Pana and the Pana Industrial Development Corporation. Kirby was a driving force for us to rebuild in Pana. Kirby really loves this community, and she worked closely with us as we laid out our plans for the new facility and presented options that were available to us. I'd like to invite Kirby to come up and say a few words.
Hello, and thank you guys for coming out to this amazing grand opening event. What a special day for so many people. The Great Western Products employees and executives, the city and community of Pana, Pana Industrial Development Corporation, and Christian County. Based on everything you see before you today, we can undeniably chalk this up as a huge success for all those involved. Back in late May of 2022, Alicia Brookman reached out to my office inquiring about potential rental space for some company that honestly I had never heard of. After speaking with her, I realized that this was for the previously known as Popcorn Factory, which rang a bell, but I was still not too familiar with. When I called her to gather more information of their needs, she informed me of the devastating fire at their Assumption facility, hence why they were looking for leasable temporary space. While on the phone with her, I did a quick Google search for Popcorn Factory, Assumption, Illinois, to try to better understand the facility's operations in order to help her and to better understand exactly what I was talking about during this conversation. During this Google search, I realized that I only live 7 miles from this facility. So I asked her if I could do a site visit to see what this company was all about. To say I was surprised when I pulled in would be an understatement. So many things caught my attention. The obvious age of their facility, the horrible devastation caused by the fire, but most importantly, the resiliency of this company and its employees. As I pulled into the employee parking lot, I noticed multiple tents that served as temporary makeshift operating areas. Despite the obvious inconveniences that this fire has caused their daily operations, everyone was still determined to get their jobs done, given the circumstances, and had a smile on their face while doing it. I understand that I may have just shown up at a good time, as I can imagine those were probably very stressful times for all, and that may have not given them something to smile about. But needless to say, I was still very impressed and knew that I wanted to help this company see through this difficult time. After getting a tour of the previous facility and seeing the damage from the fire and considering all of the challenges they faced moving forward, I decided to help pitch some property around Pana for an entire new development. Now, I don't know if Rocky knows this or not, but when Pana Industrial Development Corporation welcomed he and Pat to Oak Terrace about developing out at our industrial park, we had actually just reformed the entire PIDC board. When I say just reformed, that's exactly what I mean. We literally met 45 minutes before Rocky and Pat were scheduled to show up. I hurried up and introduced the Great Western Products pitch to the group and briefly told them about the specs that they were going to be needing. And we hurried up, elected all of our officer positions just in the nick of time to open the doors for Rocky and Pat to join the conversation. Even though PIDC was a well-established board, it just had been rather stagnant due to the pandemic and the resignation of some of the previous board members. But I'm not quite sure Rocky and Pat picked up on the fact that we just picked up where the previous group had left off years before. You know what they say, you gotta fake it till you make it. I think we did a pretty good job given the time crunch. I mean, just take a look at what we're all here for today. This was a really big project for our PIDC board. Some officers returned with significant experience and knowledge, and some of us were new and just wanting to make our own contributions. But we all had the same goal in mind, to facilitate the development of a project that means so much to so many. I think we won. I think we all won. I just want to sincerely thank and applaud the work given by those on the PIDC board. And lastly, I just want to thank Rocky, Pat, and all of those involved with Great Western Products with making the decision to invest in Pana and Christian County. We are beyond thrilled that you are here, and we cannot wait to see what the future brings you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Kirby. It's been a pleasure working with you and the Pana team. We're very happy to be a part of this great community. None of what you see here today would be possible without the help of K. Woltman Construction. Doug and his team were true partners throughout this entire process. They understood our needs, and they offered solutions to help us maximize capacity and productivity. I'd like to invite Doug up to say a few words about this incredible facility and his company's role.
Thanks, Rocky, and thanks to everyone for being here. As Rocky had mentioned, my name is Doug Woltman, and I'm with K. Woltman Construction. We're a general contractor in Effingham, Illinois, and we had the privilege of building this facility. So, being the construction guys, I want to share a few construction details or facts. We'll start with the dirt work. There were 25,000 cubic yards of dirt that were brought in to build this pad up. And if you guys are like anything like my wife, she would lean over to me right now and she'd say, "That means nothing to me." A cubic yard of dirt, we'll put that into 5-gallon buckets, over 1 million 5-gallon buckets of dirt to bring the pad up. Next to the concrete, there were over 6,000 yards of concrete, and inside that concrete is about 240,000 pounds of steel reinforcement. And while we're talking about steel building up, there's over 1,100,000 pounds of steel from the ground up that we unloaded, erected, used to build the facility. Moving on to the electrical, there's over 6 miles of conduits and 24 miles of copper conductors. So laying that all out on the ground, you could probably get to Taylorville and back. Moving on to fire protection. Is it too soon to talk about fire protection, Rocky? Too soon. On the tour, you'll see a water storage tank in the back that holds about 120,000 gallons. There's a little over 3,400 sprinkler heads in the building and just under 3 miles of fire sprinkler pipe. So I think we have you guys covered. So fingers crossed. All in all, in summary, there was about 200 skilled tradesmen that stepped foot on site and helped build this facility. A few of the minds that I'd like to recognize, I'll just start with our team. So Ben Custer was a project manager for K. Woltman Construction. Great job. Harlan Dyer is the superintendent for K. Woltman Construction on this project. They were integral in this part, so big thanks, guys. Next, I'd like to recognize George Palmer. So George was our first contact with this project, and we leaned pretty heavily on George with his experience and expertise early on in the design. And so communication was always spot on, and so big thanks, George, for everything you did. And then last, certainly not least, is the team here locally. It'd be Rocky's team. So Rocky Franklin, Tim Ferguson, Paul Adams, Alicia Brookman. Big thanks to you guys. You know, we find construction to be fun. Occasionally we hear that it can be frustrating. It's hard to believe, right? We find that it's fun. It's a lot more fun when you have the right team put together. And it just seemed like anything that we needed, it seemed like these guys had answers right away. So big thanks there. I know you guys didn't come for me, so I'm going to end it right here. We are going to be doing tours, and we're one of the stops on the tour. So any construction-related questions, please let us know. So thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Judd, for joining us today and all the work that you and your team put in the facility. I'd now like to introduce Pat Haggerty, PFG Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer. Pat is a true champion for our industry. In fact, he'll be inducted into the Candy Hall of Fame in October. I know there are many different Hall of Fames, but I can't think of one better than the Candy Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Pat, a well-deserved honor. I'd like to invite Pat up to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. You got to eat a lot of candy to get into the Candy Hall of Fame, but I did it. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming today. It is kind of moving that this is on the 2-year anniversary of the fire. And just reminiscing back, it doesn't bring back great memories, but it is amazing what we've accomplished over the last 2 years. But on behalf of all the PFG associates, I just want to tell you how excited and how proud we are to become part of the community of Pana. Since we're the newest business in town, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about it. So, quick question. Other than those who work for PFG, in all seriousness, who has heard of Performance Food Group before this? Okay, a few hands, and they might be lying, I'm not sure. But to tell you a little bit, we're a pretty big company. We're the 92nd largest company in America, and nobody's ever heard, and there's a pretty important reason why that is. But we're the 92nd largest company. This is the first year we've made the Fortune 100. We do about $62 billion in business. We sell about 260,000 items. We have over 300,000 customers. We have 7,000 tractor trailers that are operating on our freeways and highways every day, traveling 340 million miles annually. We have 150 locations. Most of those are in the United States, but we do have locations in Canada and most recently now in Mexico. And we have 37,000 associates, and nobody has ever heard of us. And we actually do that for a reason, because we are big, but the reason for our success is we act small. And the reason, or the way why we can do that, is we have such incredible employees. And our MC, Rocky, one of them, and I'd like you three to stand, Tim, Paul, and Alicia, our leadership team here, and if you could give them a hand. But we believe in decentralization. We're a big company, but we operate more like 150 small companies. I'm not the decision maker. These guys are the decision makers because they know their community, they know their employees, they know their business. They're the best ones to make the decisions for how Great Western is run. And I tell you, not a lot of companies could have gone through this 2-year period with the success that they've had. And I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank the three of you and Rocky as well. But they didn't do it alone. We have a lot of partners that have helped us with this. And Doug, you and your team have done an absolutely fantastic job building a beautiful building, and we are so excited of what you've provided for us. And then we have Kevin Weber from Right Stuff, and he's our equipment integrator. And I don't know if Kevin's here, he might be in the building. Oh, he is here. But we appreciate how you dropped everything and really have helped us and made this a big part of making this project successful. And then Kirby, we've talked about Kirby. Kirby gets things done. And we were kind of joking earlier with some of our construction people. We have a building in Phoenix that has been completed for months, but we don't have the same cooperation from the city and the economic director like we have here in Pana, Illinois. So thanks, Kirby. We appreciate it. You know, we have a lot of facilities all over the country, as I said, and in Canada and Mexico. But I can tell you, there is nowhere where we've come across people with the type of character and work ethic that you have here in the Midwest. And that goes for all of our associates here, not just our leadership team, but everyone who works in this facility. It's just proud to be associated with each and every one of them. And you all need to be proud of just the extraordinary people that you have in this part of the country. And PFG is so very fortunate to be part of this community. You know, over the last couple years, we built some great partnerships and some deep relationships with the leaderships of the town. And, you know, we have to, again, thank Kirby for opening those doors and removing obstacles so that we could get that done. You know, the city of Pana has done a lot for PFG, and we do not take that lightly, Mr. Mayor. And I tell you, we want to reciprocate. In return, it's our goal to be a solid, responsible corporate citizen. And we're not done growing. I mean, if you look across the parking lot from where we came from, and, you know, we built that temporary facility, I think it only took about 90 days, didn't it, Paul, to get that up and running. But we were setting sales records almost immediately after this little facility across the parking lot was put up. And now we have this beautiful 100,000 square foot facility, and we already have plans for another 100,000 square foot. We are not done growing. I mean, we want to be part of the vibrancy that is going on here in the city of Pana. So thank you for welcoming us into your community. And thank you for coming today. Enjoy the rest of the activities.
Before I finish up, I want to give out a special shout out to someone who did a really great job of keeping me straight and letting me know when I was about to walk off a cliff. And that's George Palmer. He took this project, controlled the project, did all the interaction, worked with Waltman closely, kept us all abreast, and we owe a lot to George for the success of what we've done as well. A couple of weeks ago, we were privileged to host the Christian County CEO group. And during that visit, we had some business discussions and we gave a sneak peek tour of the facility. Now, for those of you who don't know, the CEO program is a group of very impressive young adults collected from the Christian County schools. So we're talking high school folks. They were fully engaged, to my surprise, both in the business and manufacturing processes. And during the discussions, they asked a question that would become the most common question asked in the past 2 weeks. Almost everyone I came in contact with asked the same question. Why Pana, Illinois? I've been asked, like I said, I've been asked this question several times, and I keep coming back to the same answer. Because it's Pana, Illinois. In 2 days, I will celebrate my 22nd year with Great Western. During that time, I've watched the Illinois group flourish, knowing that many of them are part of the Pana community. Regardless of what's been thrown its way, this group has risen to the occasion. When the 2022 fire occurred, our associates did not complain, they did not mourn, and they did not quit. They were ready to pounce and get her done. They worked under adverse conditions, whether under a big top or in a facility where they could see daylight through the ceiling because of the fire. They worked with the area communities, cleaning up and doing maintenance work on a lot of the public areas. But in 3 short months, they were ready to embark in creating the most profitable 4,000 square feet in the PFG family. It is this tenacity and can-do attitude that allowed me to witness a temporary facility, as cramped as it was and continues to be, to grow and become the largest supplier of popping oil and toppings to the domestic theater industry. So why Pana? I think the better question is, where else but Pana? On behalf of PFG and Great Western, I thank you, Pana community, for all that you have done and all that you will do. This concludes the program portion of the event. We're now going to do the ceremonial ribbon cutting. We'll probably, since it's raining, we'll do it here on the stage. And then we're going to go right in to lunch. We have it set up around the corner into the break area. Help yourself. Come back here as far as seats. And around 12:30ish, I'll come back to the stand and we'll give out instructions as far as the tour goes. We thank you all for attending and hope you enjoy yourselves. One.